Brad here. In this video I want to talk about the Zero Tolerance Knives 0888 or the ZT888. This is a very beautiful knife that Zero Tolerance won Knife of the Year, I believe it's 2012, with this particular knife. And they're just hitting the streets now. It has a blade of S110V, which is a very high performance steel. And it has an all titanium machined handle, which features a very beautiful design. Has very thick titanium on the lock side. One thing I want to take note of here is the thickness of the titanium where the lock cutout is. This is where the titanium frame lock actually bends to go inward and provide the lockup. The material is left quite thick here, which is great for strength. You can probably tell the handle does leave marks from your hands when you hold it. It has an adjustable pocket clip here. Let me show you that. So inside here is a small black coated T6, which is a torque screw. So if you just loosen that, they have just a little dab of grease on this screw here. If you loosen that, you can adjust the pocket clip for left or right carry just by sliding it over like this. And it still presents a really great look, no matter where the pocket clip is. The pocket clip doesn't detract at all from the beauty of the knife, which is something really uncommon. Especially in a knife this price range. Normally you only see something like that on a custom knife. Let's take a look at the other side of the blade here. The blade has a polished satin finish, so you can still see the machining marks. They're not polished out or hand rubbed out or anything, but it does have a very shiny finish, and it does show fingerprints as I hold it here. It is a composite blade, so you can see the copper line running throughout the center, and it's just the center of the blade that is the other material, the softer material. There are legitimate reasons, I guess economic reasons I should say, to have a composite blade. So normally they would, Zero Tolerance or Kershaw would use the composite to offer a high quality steel for the cutting edge, and then use a less expensive steel that bonds well to form up the rest of the blade. And in that way they can use less of the more expensive steel and offer a better price on the knife, while also giving a cool look. On this particular knife there's so little of the other steel used that it's not really there for economic reasons, but rather aesthetic reasons. Really like how the fuller in the blade here extends into the handle and just presents a really cool appearance. Show you an in-hand shot here. So it fits the natural curve, the natural shape of your hand very well. Or of my hand anyway. When this knife was announced, I noticed a lot of conversation, I guess, on blade forums about people just wishing that their, zero tolerance would come out with more smaller knives. This is a 3.75 inch blade, and to me that's right in my perfect blade length range. But I might have larger hands than others. I'm not really into the smaller knives that some people seem to prefer. So to me this is really a perfect size. So this is the full titanium backspacer. I've also seen some people complain about the branding on zero tolerance knives, the zero tolerance name being featured in several locations on the knife. To me, if it's well done the way that it is on this knife and the 0801, I really don't have a complaint about it at all. It's to me it adds to the knife rather than detracts. So let's do a little bit of flipping. This is an incredibly smooth knife. This is by far one of the smoothest knives I've ever seen. Now if I were to have any problem with it at all, it would be that the detent isn't incredibly strong. It's definitely not a problem. I don't feel like the blade's gonna come out of place or anything. I would like the detent to be a little bit stiffer than it is. However, that is something that could vary from model to model. So here you can see the steel insert that is used on the lock face. So the steel should be harder wearing, and it is a removable piece. So in theory the steel lock face insert could be replaced if it were to wear down over time and use. So I get a little bit of a size comparison with some other relatively well-known knives here. So you'll see the knife is a little bit bigger, or a little bit longer anyway, than the Todd Begg Bodega. Get a couple more zero tolerance knives in here. This is the 0500 Mud Grant and Gavin Hawk design. And just switch these. This is one that a lot more people are more likely to own. This is the zero tolerance 0801. Rexford design. So, very happy to own one of these beauties. This was an in-house design at zero tolerance by Jimmer5, if you recognize that name from the forums. Feels really great in hand. It's incredibly smooth. Let me show you here. The blade just slides right on those KVT bearings. Very futuristic. I really like all of the design work that went into this. The grooves machined into the titanium. The overall fluid shape of the handle and the blade. Just the way that when the blade's fully extended, it looks like one, beautiful uniform piece of art. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you have any questions.